Hello? Is this thing working? Yeah. Yo, how's it, eh? Hi, I'm Alex Profound, and you're tuning in to AVG Productions.
Hello and welcome to the AVG interviews. My name is Vincent Bailey, and today I'm joined by Alex, and I'm actually forgetting how to pronounce your surname. Marantidis, yes. Otherwise known as DJ Profound. You may know him from his live sets. He's also played a few outdoor side trance events like Alien Safari on Organic. He's also played a few indoor events such as Paradigm, Transmission, and Psygasm. And who knows, maybe even know him for his new events company that's taking Cape Town by storm, and that's called Aura. So, hello and welcome to the show, my bro.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So let's start off with the name, Profound. Where did you get it?
Okay, so funny story about that. So I started off as another alias called Envy, where I played minimal prog, and then that was the start of my music career. So I kind of found different genres, subgenres, shall we say?
Yeah.
And the Envy was minimal prog into progressive, and then into Twilight, and then at Twilight. Was when I first saw one of my biggest influences, Aardvark, and
yes,
it's wrong, man. Yeah. He was incredible, and he completely changed my opinion about psytrance. Totally, you know. That set did a lot for me, and the way that I was thinking afterwards, the way that music kind of changed my thought process, you know, that was kind of where Profound came from. Just the way that I was thinking, just all these profound thoughts, you know.
Profound thoughts.
Yeah. I kind of thought about it, and Profound applies to the music that I play. It applies to everything, the way that I live life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just kind of the birthplace of it.
That's really sick. What do you think about the energy and the people in Cape Town?
So, I mean, I've played a few festivals up in Johannesburg, and something that quite took me from the Johannesburg scene was all the people there is kind of what you expect at a trance party. It's truly peace, love, unity, respect. Everybody there is completely friendly to one another. They all support one another. The friend groups are so spread. I feel like Cape Town is a little bit cliquey, and it has become cliquey over the years. But in general, I love the Cape Town scene. You know, we've got our own flavor, we've got our own uniqueness to it. Our Cape Town boys absolutely kill it on every single lineup,
Definitely.
So I feel like Cape Town by itself is truly one of the superior trance scenes in the world, actually. We may not have the massive stages and as big of lineups, but what we have here is truly something special.
Something very unique.
Very, very unique, very special. And same applies to Josie. I mean, the crowds were very different, the music is very different, but I find it so crazy how just a small jump outside of another place
gives you a lot of perspective.
Totally different, you know. So that gave me a lot of perspective on what I like on both scenes, you know. When I think about the festivals that I attended before entering the trance scene, I mean, I always knew that festivals brought a lot of happiness, a lot of joy. It's an escape. But when you start going to the trance parties, you just realize this isn't just a party, man. This is a culture. This is a whole thing past that, you know. And when you start getting into it and you start discovering even spiritual awakening stuff, you know, small things like that, you really just start to gain a bigger perspective on life. You've chosen to come get muddy. You've come to absorb the dirt and everything. Are you really now going to let yourself have a bad time, you know?
Sulky and
I mean, it's not something that you could just and enjoy it, you know? You really need to give it a chance and try accept it for what it is. Because, I mean, if you come into the trance scene and let's say you're not one to get muddy and dirty and stuff like that, or you're not one to really party, you will get shocked at what you see, you know.
People get messy.
Exactly. But that's what trance is. It's that release to be yourself, you know. So I mean, it's how much effort you put into it at the end of the day. It's how much love, how much time, how much care you're going to put into it. If you're passionate about it, you're going to try put your intent into it. That's what I feel like I did with the first Aura, you know. A lot of people chatted shit about the no phone rule, and they were like, oh, this, oh, that, blah, 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 you know. People always talk. It's natural. But I had an intention for Aura, and I truly felt like it was shone on the event, if you know what I mean.
Definitely.
So I was really stoked with that, the outcome. There were no fights, there was no difficulty, no fighting, nothing.
Exactly.
It was just a really good vibe, really good energy. So
and just before we go into your event, Aura, last little bit about you. Number one, congratulations to getting signed to the Indian record label Brahmasutra.
Brahmasutra
Records. So how did that come into fruition?
Quite crazy, actually. So when last year I was looking at labels, and that's when I started like realizing, okay, no, this is everything I want to do. I want to start taking this to the next level now. You know, I want to start pushing myself. I want to start trying to get connections overseas, try to get connections all over the place, you know, start branching myself more than just what I am locally, you know. Completely. So I was looking at labels and I was thinking about it, and I didn't like, it would obviously be amazing to get signed by them, but at the same time, you would find yourself being kind of at the back, you know,
controlled, you know,
full, like a full lineup of all these massive artists, you know, and then you're like chilling at the back, you know, not much opportunity for you, you know, until you grow with the label, which could take forever, you know.
Almost like a sports team, you know, when a young guy goes with all those like huge players,
exactly,
they never get to play.
Yeah, exactly. So, with Brahma Sutra, I was just strolling on SoundCloud one day, and I found their page, and I went through the music. I liked their tunes. I looked at their bio, what they were about, and I was like, let me look at this a bit more. Then I went into their Facebook page. I looked at their members. I actually did extensive research on the label. Like, I just wanted to see where these guys were coming from,
what
you
they're
know.
About.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I chatted to the label owner, Abby. His name's quite hard to say, so I just call him Abby. And I showed him the type of music that I played. I was like, I really like what you guys strive for. I really want to grow in a label. I really want to be part of something, you know. And he showed the rest of the guys, and they all agreed that the mix was good enough and stuff, and they liked my approach and stuff. That's awesome. Then I got signed from there, and they're an up and coming label. They've only been up for about 2-3 years now. But I've become the social media manager for them now, and I'm starting to do a lot of stuff in the label, because truly I love what we've grown there. I love what it's become. We all push and support each other. If anybody has like questions on Ableton or Fruity Loops or whatever, anything production wise, it's provided, you know, like everybody helps each other grow there. A lot of the people locally, this is something that I've noticed with some local labels, the people that like get signed to these labels and stuff, it's still kind of like every man for himself. You know what I mean?
Dog world.
No, exactly. The oaks in the same label fighting over the same bookings, you know. And I just didn't really want that. I wanted to grow. I wanted to be part of like a family that exactly. that all like push each other and support each other, and that's exactly what I've got at Brahma Sutra. Like, no man, I feel like we're onto some big things. Like, I know all the plans for next year and stuff. I mean, I'm releasing my first ever EP, 3-track EP next year with them, and we've got some big plans for next year. I mean, we've got a show on Radio Zero now.
Wow,
and
dude,
my mix is actually coming out in 3 months.
Wow. Okay,
so I've got a slot.
A
little bit of a sneak peek there.
Damn.
I'm really excited for that, and it just, and like, we've been branching out recently to a lot of parties and stuff now, so hopefully we start growing more as a label, you know. And it's all going to be done together. It's never going to be pushing like 1 or 2 artists forward. It's always awesome. Like with that label, man, it's always done together. Like everything.
Awesome, so you talked a lot about you, a lot about all the places you've been to, and how you make music and everything. But let's hear a bit more about your events company, Aura. So obviously, you haven't thrown an event before the first Aura that happened on the 5th of July this year. And I think you have a good philosophy behind it. And we talked about it also a bit off camera. But what was your idea behind Aura? Is there any specific idea or reason why you started to host events in the way that you have? Obviously, you were talking about you've been to events that certain things happened that you didn't like exactly. But what is the main philosophy and the energy going into Aura?
I'd say to come all dance together to psychedelic music, you know. I feel like too many dance floors are too chatty to one another. Too many dance floors are like the phone rule for me, like too many people.
I was going to speak
the
about
flashes
that
are on, you know.
Just so people know, at Aura, you're not allowed to use flash photography or cameras because it brings a much more intimate vibe.
100%, and that was proven at the first one, man. Like, I was bashed a little bit, you know, for the rule before the first event. Like people, it's natural to talk shit. Like, it's human instinct for some people, you know. So, what I've gathered, honestly, having the no phone rule, sure, there were some people who took videos here and there. But with that club being dark, with nobody on their phones, everyone was interacting. You saw people who didn't even know each other, weren't even friends, suddenly start having a drink together, suddenly start dancing together, you know, sharing an experience, sharing a feeling, you know. And that's what Psytrance really is, and that's what it should be. It shouldn't be trying to be seen and holding your phone up with your friends, you know.
Completely.
You know, it's not about that. Come enjoy the experience for what it is. There's a photographer, there's a photographer, there's a videographer, you know, to capture the moments.
Will get the pictures,
And I mean, when people are on their phone so much and stuff, I mean, I was happy not to hear any theft reports or anything at Aura.
Oh, that's great.
But I mean, at a lot of events, if you're holding your phone, flashing it around, you're literally showing people, hello.
Yeah.
I have an iPhone X. Come, like, you know what I mean?
Completely.
So I just think, in terms of the vibe of Aura and what it stands for, I'd say it's for everybody to come dance and have fun together. Not in your groups, not one by one, but together. To come meet new people, to come find like-minded individuals, you know.
Who like the same type of music.
Exactly, like the same type of party.
Yeah.
Find similar things that you're interested in and create new friendships, create new bonds, new relationships. You know, that's what it's about.
If there's a baseline of respect and love energy, then there won't be any problems.
Exactly, 100%.
So I really respect the philosophy behind the event, and I really like what you're trying to do with the scene and also for your music. And it's also kind of similar what we're trying to do here with Avant-Garde. It's all about sharing talent and creativity and positivity and just kind of sharing our artistry. So if you had one main goal for sharing your music, it can also be through your event, but just everything about you, sharing your music, your energies, what would it be for? What, like, if people can take away from your existence, if
I had to leave tomorrow,
exactly, what do you want people to think about profound about Alex? You know?
Okay, so something that I feel is not implemented enough in the scene is what I stand for. Is like, you gotta have passion for the culture. You have to. Like, the people that are like, all like, oh, peace, love, unity, respect, you know, they don't really respect it. It's just kind of like a front. I'm talking about the people that go out of their ways for, like, I mean, I look at the community projects that are started through Trance and stuff like that, you know. I see the way people give. I see the way people react to one another, you know. And it's just filled with an abundance of love and respect. When I go to dance floors and I look down and I don't see a cigarette butt on the floor, you know.
That's the respect.
It changes the game, dude. You know what I mean? So, like, with psychedelic, let's use it as a term opposed to like the scene or the music. Let's refer to it just as like a term. The term psychedelic for me just stands for so much, you know, and that's kind of like what I've been always trying to push from the beginning, is the culture behind it and what it brings and what it does for people, like the healing that it grants, you know, through this music, through the people, through everything. Like, honestly, it's a whole other story. So something that I've noticed, this is like kind of taken from what other people have said to me. So I'm 20 years old now. I'm still young, you know. But I feel like too many guys are too scared to kind of just stand up for themselves and push for themselves in the way that they want to, you know. Like, you have to take bashing and stuff and shit talking with a pinch of salt. And you need to push to better yourself, you know. So if I had to leave tomorrow, let's say, and I kind of had to want to leave a mark on like what I would want people to think of me or whatever, it kind of just to do you, don't listen to what anybody says, you know, and honestly just like follow your dreams. Like, your time will come, but you have to be patient for it. But if you put the time, effort and love into it, which I have like really done over the years, you know, with everything, with my marketing, with anything that I do with Profound, I kind of take pride in it. And I feel like I would want other people to see that and kind of follow in the same footsteps. As it is oversaturated, the scene, I kind of want people to see a younger person doing it correctly. I don't know if I'm doing it correctly, but I feel like I'm doing something right, you know.
If you're doing it in a way that you love and you feel is right, then you're definitely doing it.
100%. So like, I would just kind of promote that.
So it's come to the stage of the interview where you can be your own personal plug. You can shout out your music, your social media, your event, even updating fans, what you have upcoming, the tracks, as you said, with the record label. So
so I'm gonna give you some profound stuff that's happening in the next year or two.
Sick.
So first things first is my recent track on Synoptics Records is coming out in about a month or two. The track's titled Vlaka, and then after that, next year, I've got my second VA release. So this year I released Kaizen, and my intention with my VAs is every year on 420 I will do a different themed VA. So the last one was Kaizen, and Kaizen is all about change and how change is good, and all, you know what I mean? It's all from that part of the world, from Asia. So now I'm coming back to the home roots with the next one. It's called Ubuntu. And I'm actually going to try get all the tracks structured with like African drums and completely create a full African feel, you know what I mean? And then I have my 3-track EP coming out next year. The date is still being confirmed for that, but that will come out on my record label. And then in February I plan to move to the Netherlands permanently and start growing my music career there and start chasing my dreams of opening up my own coffee shop. Awesome. And big plans for next year. But last thing that I'm going to say for now is that there is a possibility I skip Netherlands for a few months, and it's because a very big international who's a mate of mine might come down, and there might be a possibility that maybe that there will be a Aura one-day festival, a full psychedelic lineup, exactly the crowd that I want to attract. I will try reach to get, you know what I mean, with the lineup and the music that is being portrayed. So I'm not going to say too much about that, but there is something in the talks.
Awesome.
Something being planned.
Yeah, well, that's all very exciting, and you heard it here first on the AVG
on AVG.
So very exciting things, very excited for you, brother. And also just for the 9th of August, Friday, this upcoming Friday, is your Aura event. Very excited for that at the Wonderland Club. You like Wonderland Club?
I must say, like, the thing that I love about it that everybody mentioned is the spiraling stairs. Everybody was like, going up and down from it was crazy. You get lost. And I think that just adds so much more to the fun.
And lastly, if there is any, if you want to shout out family or friends or people that have helped you out, just building up your profound image throughout the years.
Okay, so I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of shout outs, but my one friend Nikhil actually pushed me when I was like, no, like I want to start DJing and stuff, but no, I'm not going to go up in front of people. And he was like, Alex, do it. Like, you know, it's going to be the best decision you ever made. And he really pushed me to like further it, you know. Gonna shout out my homeboy, Logan. You there, dude? I'll shout out to him. He's been my best mate for God knows how long now.
Awesome.
You know, he's always pushed me, always supported me. And my family have always been super supportive, you know, like awesome. Even in the tough times where, like I said, I've been bashed and shit like that. I come home, I'm like, oh my fuck, you know, freaking out. But they've always had my back, you know. If anything pops up, my family have my back. So, and just, I mean, everybody involved in my promoters, the DJs, everything in terms of Aura, like I feel like people really are putting in the effort. And that's about it. And shout out to you guys for making this all happen. This is fucking really cool experience.
Shots a lot, bro. Shot for the interview. Good luck for the upcoming event.
Thank you.
And all the releases, and good luck for everything. My name is Vincent Bailey, signing out from the AVG podcast. Shot so much profound. Alex, for joining us.
Thank you
and
for
we'll
having
check
me.
you very soon again.
Sweet.
Yes.
Cheers.
Sick.